is I, Lord Drunkman. Episode 4. Where are we going from here? Hopefully upward. Hopefully upward. Since the past couple episodes. One of the things that I've chosen to attempt to do, now, I would lie if I were to say that I had succeeded every day. For I would be lying to you right now if I did not come to you as Drunkman. However, for 3 days, I was able to really dial in this concept of, instead of being so concerned about my own worries and my own thoughts and everything else, I decided, just deliberately, to say that I needed to do certain things within a certain amount of time. I was able to do it for 3 days in a row. Not gonna lie, today I wasn't able to. Today I had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beers. 3 of them were around the 4%. Nope, that's a lie. 2 of them were at the 4% mark. 3 of them are around the 5% mark. And when I'm referring to a beer in my sense, these are all tall cans, so actually double everything you just heard. In terms of a regular Coke can size amount. As an example, this is a tall can. What I'm trying to get at, though, really is one of the other aspects of my attempts to get better, which I have to be honest about. And some of the reality is that, as an example, my back pain was not there those days that I was not drinking as much. So that tells you clearly that I'm doing something very wrong on the regular. I'm only 29. Take that how you will, but that's just the reality. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. Another aspect about this was, despite what I felt was very successful control, I was having issues. I think that I've learned today what those issues were, and I think it might have been a caloric issue. I think I might have been eating too lean. So my current knowledge of what to eat when I come home consists of a meal that at best is vegetables, a decent size of meat, somewhere in this vicinity, so 2 servings of meat, protein, some sort of a protein, and I literally mean it's not like it's incredibly seasoned or anything, and then I also have a bowl of vegetables, so there's no real carbohydrates involved in that. And then what I would do, what I have done for the 3 days that I've been partaking in my own efforts, these are what I like to do, was playing a very active and physical game, which doesn't sound physical, but I do actually burn lots of calories playing it. I'm not going to go into the details of it. The game is Eterna. Look up high level Eterna play. It does take a lot of actual physical and mental effort, especially if you don't entirely have your technique down like myself. So after that, I would partake in my alcohol and then my marijuana, and I was getting headaches. Today, sort of as an experiment, because I was curious, was what was going on. I went to McDonald's, got myself a double quarter pounder BLT, no mayo. I learned that I cannot have the mayo. I think I've spoken about this perhaps previously, or if I have not, that is the thing that I've learned. I cannot have the McDonald's mayo. As delicious as it is, I do love it. I do very much enjoy it, but I cannot have it. Body does not enjoy it, and therefore I should respect. I should respect, at least on some level, my own temple, as much as I choose to disrespect it. But I want to acknowledge I am focusing on getting better there. However, anyway, let's go back to where I was here. So we're eating more regular. We're getting headaches. Today's experiment, we had double quarter pounder BLT, no mayo, and then immediately slammed down 3 beers. I feel something in my head a bit, but no, I don't feel a headache. Now, is this because, like, I don't, again, I'm gonna admit that I'm at least ignorant on this level of what sort of chemistry is happening in my body here, but there was a significant difference there, drinking the alcohol without any prior carbs, not dank, especially after exercise, versus doing it with carbs. Way more dank. Way more carbs, by the way. Like, way more fucking carbs. So much more carbs. Also, so much more alcohol. So, perhaps that's I don't know. There's sort of several different aspects. We could talk about that, I'm sure. Point is, calories are important, apparently, and the way that you get those calories in you, hyper important. And one of the things that I'm learning is that while I'm on my journey towards getting better, I have to get carbs in. I have to get a healthy type of carb in as well, and I have to choose it. I think oatmeal and rice, something along those lines would be good. On occasion, the occasional bread, but I don't fuck with bread much. The only time I like to fuck with bread is maybe like on a Saturday, like weekend mornings. And in order to do anything like that that's reasonable, I have to make sure that I'm buying half loaves from Safeway. So, I don't know, there's that. Kind of interesting how this got into like a whole bunch of macro stuff and talking about eating and everything else, but it's sort of where I've been at now. In order to get better and everything, I have to not obsessively, but I do have to monitor stuff again. That's just another truth, If I don't pay attention, things can go crazy. If I pay too much attention, then, I just immediately feel bad. One of the examples is tonight. I didn't have necessarily the intention to consume alcohol, but I figured if I was going to do it, originally, if I was going to do it, I was only going to have the initial dose. And I got out and got weak. One of the things that no one mentions about alcohol, unfortunately, and this is a real truth, this might go in for other forms of addiction as well, and people think that on some level it's a physical thing. It's not. It's nothing physical. for a lot of it. Uh, don't get me wrong. There is definitely physical addiction that exists, and if anybody is going through that, God forbid. But most forms of addiction are much more like psychological in nature. You like a certain thing that lets you escape from a certain thing, you're going to do it. I don't think we should necessarily be blamed for that. I think it's much more better to figure out what's going on and to get to the bottom of that, and get to those points. But um fuck, what the hell was I gonna say? Shit. Something about the drinking. Right. Initially, I wasn't supposed to have any more alcohol. And again, all right, so this is where I was going with this. One of the big things about addiction, or anything that we like, or that we tend to enjoy, sometimes just as part of us that doesn't realize that we will fall into that enjoyment of it, which in some cases is valid and can be potentially healthy, right? If we like working out at a certain, a positive level, if we're like eating healthy, taking care of ourselves in this manageable level, then it's good. It's when things get distorted and that we have to obsess over this, or that we are obsessing over it outside of the time when we should be allotting to it, that things start getting strange and everything gets weird. And I think the more people accept that, that's really where the problems are starting. Right? For me, I think about drinking more than I should, and because of it, clearly I'm going to end up drinking more. And it's because of this problem where I'm so focused on either drinking or not drinking, or what's surrounding my life with drinking, that I can't even focus my time and energy towards things that aren't drinking. And that's why I think I mentioned earlier, I've deliberately chosen to allot a certain amount of time to eating, and then trying to allot a certain amount of time to something else. And I think it's that deliberate choice that I've taken, that has also caused a lot of these repercussions, and I accept them, and they're not positive. They hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. They hurt. Um, Getting more sober and feeling great during the day and feeling nice, and then doing something that inadvertently, I being an alcoholic, I do still have the urge to drink, so I have chosen, and on those nights, to still consume some form of alcohol, but to feel an immediate headache and feel ill almost, right? It's not nice or good feeling. And so I want to make sure that I can mitigate that entirely. I want to experience life without any of this, so much of this ill feeling. It's been many years of it at this point. And I think anybody who's ever been an addict knows that they don't want to be an addict. It's not easy not being an addict. And the craziest thing is that when you take the time to not be an addict, life is always even harder, man. I'm never gonna take that away from anybody that ever fucking tries to stop anything. The moment you ever try to stop, life will just get harder immediately. It just happens. Maybe it's because there's a subconscious part that's vibing with the universe that knows that you need to be a little bit more in check, and you just aren't aware of it. I don't know, man. I do psychedelics and shrooms, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's the case, right? But something aligns ourselves with this idea that we do need to sober up. And sometimes that sobering up always comes in tune with something very difficult. But if you weren't sober during those very difficult times, where would you be, right? So you have to really, you're looking out for yourself. Some part of yourself, right? Your soul, some part of yourself knows, recognizes it. Whenever you're really trying hard, and it's always harder, right? Because that's happened to me every fucking time. Every time. I will lay, you don't, what, you want to see a gross number of shit that have had happen every time I've quit, or attempted to quit, thought I had to quit, right? Fucking thought I was going through something cool, one of the probably like the third or fourth time, thought I was gonna take a big ass effort, man. It was Lent and shit, bro. Lent, right? I barely believe in Lent. Fuck it, it was Easter time. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna quit today. And I get inside my fucking vehicle with my dad. And that's the day that he tells me that he gets his diagnosis for his cancer. So what's that tell you about the universe, bro? First of all, it told me that I really needed to be sober. But instead, I got all fucked up. I'm going to sit here and lie that I'm a good person all the time. I'm going to sit here and tell you that I have to learn so much and I have to grow. And that is something that I have to grow from. Handle situations like that. Because what happened? Where did I go with that? Did I treat my father any better? Or did I retreat into my own feelings? Sorry if this gets weird, man, but right, that's just the life. Probably should put like a trigger warning on this shit. I don't know. Point is even when I've tried busting my ass, life's still hard. But the difference is, and I'm starting. It's so hard. And this is the hard part. The difference is, I could be sitting here and do nothing but hurting myself and experiencing the difficulty and pain. And that is comfortable. And that is what will happen to me if I choose that. But the reality as well that I clearly have to experience and accept is, if I choose to get better, pain will not go away. Fear will not go away. But it's about the definition and the experience of that fear. Am I going to sit here and stay here and hurt myself and be comfortable? Or am I going to change and be uncomfortable? But I will change. Will I grow anew? At some point, we really just have to say yes to everything that we've really got within us, man. When you sit there and you think, maybe I should try poetry, stop what the fuck you're doing. You think poetry is gonna impact your life so much that you can't do what you do? You think poetry has to be something that takes so much of your life that it's not beautiful or appreciative? You just have to do poetry. You want to try drawing? Start. Draw a line, draw 2 lines, draw a curve, draw 3. You don't have to be good. Draw some squiggles. We all have this built-up idea of what things are, and what we're supposed to be, and everything else, and when the efforts that we're supposed to take, but none of it's real, man. None of it's real. Well, how could it be? Everything you do is going to influence someone, regardless. You show it to someone, and they say it's not good. They still have to think about it. It's still in their mind. And if it's so not good that they have to think about how it's not good, that's even better. Because typically, it's just misunderstood. That's really this misconception, right? The not good versus the good is really a scale of the understood versus the misunderstood. If you understand it, would you really call it not good? Right? The first time you see a movie and you don't understand anything because you're X years old or you're ignorant of certain aspects of something, and then you get reintroduced to it with new eyes, would you actually sit there and say that it's just not good? I don't think that's a concept that we would really... I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the case, man. I think that, you'd have to look at it. So I don't know. I don't know what this episode even is. We've gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot of changes. I'm still going through changes. My biggest thing right now is I have to, I think I'm gonna do a tiny ab workout. Get some water in me. Probably sit, kind of analyze what's going on. I'm not sober, which sucks. I say it sucks just because of the initial goal of the night. The outcome wasn't necessarily awful, but I don't know. In a lot of aspects, it'd be nice to be done with it all, you know? I don't want to be an alcoholic forever. Shit. Even looking at my marijuana usage, it's too much. I'm gonna smoke more. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna smoke more. I'm going to smoke more tonight. I know so preemptively what all the outcomes are in a lot of these cases. I'm okay with them. I'm so okay with negativity and not being in a good space, and I don't understand that. That's something that, on some level, I really should figure out, you know? Being okay with being so unhappy and dissatisfied to the point where I'm willing to repeat it over and over again. There's some true... Why? I don't need to be unhappy, you know? I know it makes me happy. And I know getting over this shit would make me happy. Yeah, any of the efforts and even giving myself the ability to, it's just fucking not there, bruh. Call this a thought loop, call us what you like, but that's it. You know, you only hear the entire cycle. It's it over and over again, every single day, all the way up and all the way down. Start my day believing in myself entirely, ending it by killing any idea that I could succeed with the fucking sip of that fucking drink. Every day. Nearly 10 years. I do still believe. I think anybody that doesn't believe or really feels like you can't believe anymore, make sure you truly talk to someone, you know, write down your thoughts on a piece of paper. Just, you know, you need some help. Not necessarily give it to a coworker, but I mean, give it to somebody that, like, figure it out. Like, give it to someone right, but, you know. Just saying, I've been through a lot lately. It's been hard trying to do so what I feel is so good and just hurting myself. And then on a day where I treat myself like shit, no pain. It's like, well, no wonder I keep doing this, right? I get to feel fucked up all day. I'm not happy. So I can see that. I don't know. I keep saying the same shit over and over again. I understand that. I'm hurting. I'm drunk. Stoned. Disappointed. Just how it be. I love y'all. My ego is big and misunderstanding, but I hope to learn. Peace and love.